Hey everyone! You need a cast of young adults that get into some crazy situations? High school. You get high schoolers. You want a relatable main character? Put them in high school. You want to ruin a character? Put them in high school. School in general is just a really relatable subject that basically everyone goes through. I feel like when you're younger, you kind of fantasize about being in high school and just being older and more independent. Then when you're actually in high school, it's much more mundane and it never really meets those expectations you had of it. But you know what? I would have enjoyed high school a lot more if I went to school with Falco Lombardi. Nintendo High is a web series created by YouTuber Foozle, and it's pretty much about every Nintendo character being in high school. I've known about the series for a long while now, but I've never actually taken the time to sit down and watch it all. Well, I watched the Mr. L episode, but the rest of the series is basically a stranger to me. When I was making my Mario fan comics video, and I was looking for some comics, I saw this series brought up a lot. Now, would I consider this series a comic? I mean, a motion comic maybe, but no, it's a cartoon. I would consider it a cartoon. The concept itself isn't the most original thing. I mean, basically every franchise has a high school AU, but this series is in its 3rd season, and clearly people are enjoying it, so I've decided to take a look at it and see what all the hype is about. At the time of writing this, I've only seen season 1, but after I finish talking about it, I'll move on to season 2. I won't be covering season 3 just cause it's not finished yet, and also I don't want to just be recapping every episode. So let's just get into season 1. So season 1 has a pretty basic start. Episode 1 introduces you to a lot of the main group of characters, obviously Mario and Luigi, then you got Donkey Kong and Peach. And it also introduces some of the antagonists like Bowser or Wario and Waluigi. But episode 1 also sets up some lore with Mario and Luigi's parents. Something happened to their parents and now the bros are left on their own. This plotline just reminds me of the Pac-Man cartoon ending.
Guys, pack your bags. We're going on the all-time most major adventure ever!
But anyways, episode 1 does a really good job at showing the personalities of these characters. Mario's obviously going to be the more confident and charismatic one compared to Luigi, who's more soft-spoken and sensitive. It's pretty hard to get these characters wrong. Like, I don't really see people making Luigi the Chad ladies man or making Mario the douchebag loser. Well, now episode 2 is just a fun episode and is mainly here to introduce the rest of the cast, like Link and Zelda, King K. Rool, Daisy. Gotta fill the quota. I like how they made K. Rool a theater kid. I don't really know how you would do the pirate thing in a high school setting, so I think it works. Moving on to episode 3, which I think is the weakest episode of the season. It's not bad, but the entire episode is just the bros under the school talking to Egad, all while Bowser's trying to get with Peach. They also drop some hints about Mario's parents, but that's something I think they're going to touch on at a later point in a future season, just because that plotline doesn't get resolved this season. Egad also gave the bros Flood and the Poltergust, but they never used them again this season, which was kind of disappointing considering what happens near the end of this season. I think it would have been cool if they used them again. Then again, I do hate Sunshine, so... Episode 4 and 5 is where things start to pick up and we get our first major story arc. Luigi is feeling sad, so he goes to his counselor. I've played Super Paper Mario, so I already know what's gonna happen, so let's just cut to the chase. Mr. L is born. Alright, since no one else has done it, I'm going to give myself the title of Mr. L Expert, and I gotta say, they get it. It would be so easy to just treat Mr. L as just evil Luigi, but this series actually showcases the theatrics and intelligence that Mr. L has. They even gave him a moment with Daisy, which was a lot different than the last one I covered. Super Paper Mario is one of my favorites, so it's always nice to see it getting some love. And they even have Dementio in the same episode too. Who's he voiced by? Man on the internet? The lyrics guy? The ultimate show with lyrics guy? Foozle, you get it, man. Episode 6 is the beginning of the final arc for season 1. Everyone is asking out someone to the homecoming dance. This is where you see a lot of the main ships get shown off, like obviously Mario and Peach, Luigi and Daisy, Link and Zelda, Pit and Palutena.
I don't know.
Why does Pit sound so familiar? Denki Kaminari! And finally, Waluigi and Rosa... Huh? Alright, I'll be honest. I don't really get this ship. At least I don't get it outside of this series, because it is nice in this series. I mean, Waluigi doesn't even appear in any mainline games, which obviously isn't going to stop people. To me, it just feels like it exists just to give Rosalina a love interest, since Peach and Daisy already have Mario and Luigi. The song goes hard, though.
Rosalina can't be Rosalina and Waluigi. These skulls for a victory dance!
Episode 7 is when the bros finally get to go to the dance, and the costume designs in this episode are just so good. Look at Kirby, yo! Anyways, Mario gets kidnapped, and Pauline gets introduced as a sort of rival to Peach. I'll be honest, I thought the crown on Bowser was supposed to be a Sticker Star reference. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I don't really see a lot of people referencing Sticker Star, since, you know, it's Sticker Star. But then I actually looked at what Bowser looked like in the game, and yeah, I was way off. The finale is, of course, them fighting Bowser. Mr. L even comes back with a homecoming suit. Oh my god!
Central Gojo! Is there anything you're not capable of doing?
Zelda also becomes Sheik in this episode, which was cool to see. But also, I don't really get why she did that, since I don't think she had any reason to hide her identity. Anyways, the day is saved, everyone is good, and... Sonic the Hedgehog! And that was season 1. I'll be honest, if this was just one season, I definitely think I would have liked it a bit less, just because I think there is a lot you could do with this concept, especially using these characters. But knowing that there is a season 2 and a season 3 just makes me excited to see more. So as I'm going into season 2, I know Sonic is going to be a big part of it, but I do hope that the side characters from season 1 still have some spotlight. I know that the series is mainly about Mario and Luigi, but I wouldn't mind seeing some episodes that focus on other characters from a different franchise like Link and Zelda, or maybe the Star Fox crew, since it kind of seemed like Fox wasn't really friends with Falco and Slippy. And I know the big mystery is about Mario and Luigi's parents, but it does make me wonder about the other characters' parents as well. I think it'd be cool to explore what some of the characters' lives outside of school looks like, but obviously it's called Nintendo High, so it's going to focus on them in high school. But yeah, pretty good first season. I'm understanding what the hype was about. So I'll come back when I'm finished with season 2. So I finished season 2 and I'm still trying to collect my thoughts, but right now all I can really say is that it was good, I liked it, but I do think I liked season 1 just a little bit better. I think season 1 worked better as a full season, especially when you're just binge watching all the episodes instead of waiting for the next one. But I still want to go over each episode just to collect my thoughts and see if anything's changed. So at the end of season 1, Sonic was teased and he does play a pretty big role this season. He's a transfer student from Sega High and starts a rivalry with Mario, as you would expect. So when it came to Sonic, just seeing his design, I thought they were going to go for a more Jaleel White type of voice, since this is a younger Sonic and he's clearly based on his classic design. But instead they take a more modern approach for his voice, and to me he sounds more like Roger Craig Smith. But I do really like Sonic and his friendship with Mario in this series. I would even say it's the highlight of the season. Episode 2 is a Halloween episode and it's a pretty fun one. It was nice seeing Link and Zelda again, same with Mario and Waluigi. The main thing to note about this episode is King Boo. The episode is clearly taking huge inspiration from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and King Boo even sounds like Oogie Boogie. Episode 3 is an interesting one because it focuses on Pokemon, and although we have seen Pokemon in season 1, they weren't really shown off that much, which was surprising since Pokemon is one of Nintendo's biggest franchises. But after this episode, it feels like there's just Pokemon everywhere now, which I think is a nice touch. Team Rocket is also in this episode, and they're basically the same as they are in the anime. Episode 4 is a Princess Peach episode, and it's a fun episode. I did say I wanted to see the lives of these characters outside of school, so I can't really complain. The episode is about Peach babysitting Ness and Lucas from the hit game Earthbound. This is the longest episode in the season, and I do feel like it could have been just a little bit shorter. Like, I think there are other episodes that could have benefited a lot more with this runtime. Episodes like 5 and 6. Episode 5 introduces Tails and Knuckles, and the whole episode is just a big fight scene. It kind of reminds me of Super Mario Bros. Z. But I do think that these episodes could have worked just as well if they were one episode. Obviously, I understand why it was split. Art and animation takes a lot of time, and a cliffhanger keeps fans interested. Episode 6 is probably my favorite episode of the season. Sonic's dynamic with Tails and Knuckles is exactly what you would expect. But I do like what they do with Sonic and showing the pressure he feels, and it gives us a nice scene between him and Mario. This episode also gives the bros their elemental powers from Superstar Saga, and my favorite character makes a return.
Is there anything you're not capable of doing?
Now, episodes 7 and 8 are both pretty princess-centered episodes, and I think this was my main problem with this season. Episodes 5 and 6 were pretty big episodes, so I don't blame them for wanting to do more of a laid-back episode. Episode 7 is about Mario and Peach going on a date, and here's my main problem. Throughout season 2, they aren't clear if they are or aren't in a relationship. And they try to do this whole build up that they're gonna get together. But the thing is, at the end of season 1, they already kissed. So it's like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I just feel like this episode could have been used to show off another pair like Link and Zelda or Waluigi and Rosalina. At least episode 8 brings back Bowser. But I also do think that the Mario and Luigi RPG style battle went on for a little bit longer than I would have liked. If anything, these episodes just made me miss the other side characters. The last time they really got a time to shine was the Halloween episode and a little bit of the Pokemon episode. I don't really like being negative when covering passion projects like this because I know I wouldn't be able to make something like this, but these are just my personal critiques from my own opinion. Episode 9 is an interesting one, but I don't think it's as good as the season 1 finale. It gives us more answers about Mario and Luigi's parents, and Egad raps about how he basically killed them.
I reached out for your parents, but they fell, and well, they...
Overall, season 2 was fine. I think the main issue I have with this season is the length for each episode. In season 1, the episodes were about 11 minutes each, while in season 2, the episodes are about 15 to 18 minutes each. The thing is, I do think that some of the episodes in season 2 work well with the longer runtime, like the Halloween episode or the Sonic episodes, but I still enjoyed this season and I'm still excited to see more. When I started this video, I didn't really know what to expect, but I can confidently say that I understand the hype for the series. I will be watching season 3, but like I said before, I won't be covering it in this video since it's not complete, and also you should just go check it out yourself. Yeah, I don't really know what to put here for the end.
Sakura Gojo!